Okay, so today we're going to work on the reharmonization of Shir Hapalmach. Okay, now, just for your knowledge, so here's the basic song. And we're going up the scale. See that bass? That goes fast. Live good. Yes, and it's so as we're coming back to Rishonim Tamid Anachnu, I like that it's doing a reverse line that usually was going. Now we're going like they're climbing back up the hill to make that last victory. And could get ready for that note. That was that sharp nine. These things just keep it so interesting. And I Misaviv Yehom Hasa'ad Ach Roshenu lo yishach Livkudat tamid anachnu tamid Anu hapalmach Mimetulad hanegev Mehayam al hamidbar Kol bachur v'tov laneshek Netiv lanesha b'shamayim shvil ha'perre b'narim mul oyev darkeinu ya'al ben nikrot u'ben tzurim. Second verse. Rishonim tamid anachnu le'or hayom u'v'mashach livkudat tamid anachnu tamid. So this is the basic sheet music that you will see in the Jewish Fake Book, and I have made a lot of changes to make this harmonization a lot more interesting. Let's dig in. The first bar. Misaviv Yehom Hasa'ad. So on Misaviv, let's see what we could do on that note. Misaviv Yehom. We can also harmonize the E going thirds down. Misaviv Yehom Hasa. We We do it as a C major. Misaviv Yehom Hasa. I think A minor is more interesting. Misaviv Yehom. It's a little sad. But what I differ with is going back to that D minor. I want to evolve my chords. They have to evolve. If I go back to D minor, it's boring. We need to make it more interesting in order for the audience to be paying attention. Now, in this key of D minor, we have a B flat. So if we go down 3 notes from D, we got a B flat chord. So let's try that. Now that is a perfect solution. We could also harmonize that D as a G minor. Let's just try that for a minute, even though we already found a great solution. Not so sure if I like that as much, you know? So let's go back. Let's go to B flat. Now the fact that B flat is now going to go on Achroshenu is a nice 4-1. That's nice. And that leads nice to... Now, in the sheet music, he has C7, Roshenu lo yishach, Achroshenu lo yishach. I like, instead of that C7, there's an A in that chord on that C7. If he designated that as a C13, which would include that, that might be better. Now on that 13, you have a lot of possibilities for what to do with the 9th. You could do a whole sus chord, which is B flat major 7, which is sort of what I wrote. I wrote G minor 7 over C, and B flat major 7 over C is almost the same thing. Just changing one of. That's nice. Now what if we took that 9th and we flatted it? Well, with the sharp 11 it's a little much, but let's see if we like that again. Sometimes you got to hear it a few times. You know, it's nice, interesting, but I'd rather leave that flat note for a little bit later as the song evolves. Let's keep it bright for now. We didn't get deeper into battle yet. That B flat major 7 over C is also called a sus chord. That's nice and bright. The difference between the C9 is just the F or an E. So, or still, that's also a little bittersweet. I would keep it as a B flat major 7 over C, also G minor 7 over C, almost the same thing. When you play the so you're singing that A instead of playing it. I would say the B flat major 7 is the best option because you're actually playing that A and you're supporting the voice on that. So you want to get the best option. Now Mi Saviv, he goes right to that C. Not good. Now, having a G minor 7 with the C on top offers you this suspension, but you just call it a G minor 11. If you do the Herbie Hancock voicing, it would be you would live good unto me. You could do it that way, or just keep it simple in a cluster voice. And it's almost like C7 sus or G minor 11, but the way you play G minor 11 is just. So I would just play like a C7 sus there. Let me put that in as an alternate voicing on top. It's really the same thing, it's just another way of looking at it. I put a B flat minor 6 there. Now what happens in that chord is that you move the D to a D flat. There are different voicings, of course. When you write this music out as chords, you're not writing out the full piano parts. I like that. It's a real cluster, isn't it? It's really a C7 flat 9. Let's put that down, C7 flat 9. And once again, if you don't write out the whole chord in a piano part, you just have to leave it to the luck of the draw. Now, he just had F, no movement at all. But if you do and you go to D minor, there's a chord that you could put in between there. That's a nice way of going from F down to D minor. Now that's like a classical chord. It's the dominant of D minor, which is A7, with the E in the bass, the fifth in the bass. You don't have to double the E on top. That's doubled. Or sometimes it's better not to double it, just so it's clear. Those alternate bass notes stands out. So it's a now it's not an exact chord. There's a little tension there. So it's but it resolves itself into the chord afterwards. But it sort of moves fast. The ear wants to do both. Which is fine. It's a nice solution. Instead of there's no motion there. What a great solution. And instead of an A7, I elongate the A7 by giving you a G minor over A first. Again, keeping the interest moving forward. Right? And then mi metul negev, and he has mi metul negev. See, the arrival on negev should be B flat. He's giving it to you too early. So I played around with it and I gave you this. So I played the F7 with the C in the bass. I don't think it's a perfect solution, but you could do. Maybe that's a better solution right there. Just give it the F, then F over A, and then leading to the B. Because that bass line is boom, 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 boom. And then we arrive B flat on the next measure where I want it, on negev. And if I want to throw the 7th on that F7 over A, I could do mi as a pure F chord, mi 7th chord with the A in the bass. That's the 3rd of the chord in the bass. Now we're talking. Now the soldiers want to fight. What do you think? They're just going to fight with a regular chord? Same thing in this chord. It's boring. We can elongate that dominant chord preceded by its 2 to 5, like a G minor. So on Minayam, I would rather have, instead of a G minor, well, it's a G minor 7th again. That actually works too. So let me write that down. That's that G, I call it a G minor 11th, and then you would imagine for yourself that it's a cluster like a C7 sus. It's basically the same thing. G minor 11, C7 sus. I have a F, G, B flat, C cluster. If you want to throw in, I would put the C in the bass. Or G minor. I really feel not to use these open Herbie Hancock voicings, which is a 5th. I'm unless the whole piece is done in a jazz style. This is more of a pop style. So here, let's move on. But basically, we're elongating and elaborating on that dominant C7 chord. And once again, we're thinking in two keys here. We're thinking D minor and F major, temporarily here in F major for this section of the song on. So dum 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 ba dum ba dum 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 bum. And there's a little F section. Da da da. I don't know what chord you want to do there in the bit. Dum, da, dum. They use the 4 minor. Love that. G minor is 11. Dum, da, dum, ba, dum, ba, dum. Now we're going to G minor, next section. Dum. Now, there's a chord that you could put in leading into that Kol Bachor from da, dum, dum. In between there, on the 4th beat, you could, on the 3rd or 4th beat, do, kol, ba. I would do it on the 4th beat, I think. Do, dum, 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 dum. And I would just do the F sharp from F, F sharp, and then harmonize the F sharp as a D7 leading to G minor. It's a 5 of. Do, and if I want to put the flat 9 in there, see, you learn from every experience. Let's throw in the flat 9. That's enough. Do, could be F sharp diminished as well. Do, so parentheses F sharp diminished 7th. Write it in. You'll start learning to put your slash chords like not next to each other, but sort of slash and then put the next letter, the bass note, underneath it, so you can get more in the in the sheet music. Now you have he doesn't do anything there. Watch what I do. I do now I throw in the E flat 9. Nice. Now from E flat, don't forget the flat 2 could go down to the 1. So that's just like a perfect solution. This is a line cliche. Vitov. That's going to be over that G minor. Vitov. That's that E in the bass over that G minor becomes that E half diminished. It would be good if you played that F in that chord. You get that 9th. It's like, whoa. I don't know how we're going to get that flat 9 in there nicely. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that flat 9 chord. I don't know if I love that. I may just leave it out. I just think we should maybe hang on to that E flat 9. Sometimes I just get too ungepatchked. That means complicated. Let's leave that hang. I put in a B flat 13 on that 16th note on that mish. I don't know if that's gonna go, but so maybe if I slow it down, then I put a little rallentando. And I did that little operation on the dominant, which moves up. I learned from my dear friend Gary Lawrence. Love that. If you can get that. I don't know if we're going to get that in there. Maybe we can. See, it's a matter of going back and forth sometimes. I don't know if I like this line cliche here anyway. So let's see where we are. Let's go back to Kol HaBachor. Kol Bachor v'Tova, Tovla, Tovla, Flanka. Kol Bachor, cool 13 chord. Maybe just put it in as part of an introduction or something if you're just so committed to that 13 chord, throwing a flat 9. In G general, they say when you're playing for elderly people, you want to just play it slowly. Mi to the top. Mi so viv ya home. Let's take it slow. Here we go. Mi so viv tam. Mi so viv tam. Mi da nach nach nu tamid. B flat 13, I knew it was there. Not bad. Rish. Now he gives you Rishonim as a D minor. Rishon, which sort of makes sense, but I like Rishonim tamid. Actually, now I'm gonna second guess myself. Rishonim tamid. Better. See, sometimes you just over an F sharp. Playing with the bass notes on these, so I'm going to just erase that F. I really like going back to that original key on Rishonim. We're just going back to the original key, especially when you're going off the wall with these chords. For people, you need to give them something to hold on to. You know what I mean? You're dropping them off the cliff. You got to at least let their hands grab onto, at least their fingernails onto the edge of that cliff so they can hold on to something. Rishonim tamid anachnu. Rishonim I need a nim tamid anach. That's not bad. Rishonim tamid anach. Rishonim tamid. I like that better, A7. That. Now you got to go up to the F, which is D minor over F, to evolve that line. And then it's logical that I got that D7 over F sharp, because then I got works nice. It's a nice solution. Now what am I going to do? I'm experimenting. Interesting. Sorry. I sort of like that E flat 7 there. And then you get. Now you hang them on the edge of the cliff there again. Let's go back and see the whole phrase. It's always nice to go back and see the flow. Rishonim tamid. I like that a lot. I need that moving bass there. So on Yom, I'm going to put /F. Right? Actually, the D7 might be the best solution there. So, your choice. I'll leave it with the D chord in there. Now, now when I go descending bass line from that D minor, once you go to the B, it becomes a B half diminished chord, which is nice. And that goes nicely to this is a very nice chord. It's really a G minor over B flat. I have G minor over A. I'll switch it to a B flat. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, it's I personally love my arrangement. Once again, I can get a little ungepatchked, a little too overcomplicated at times, but I think this really works, you know, especially if you practice it. What's that word? How do you get to Carnegie Hall anyway? Practice, 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 and more practice. You know that joke. Yeah, well, let's play the whole thing through. Why not? This is fun, isn't it? Love that beat. Now we have the don't forget. Oh, I love that E flat 9. So cool. It's bright. It's interesting. It gives just like a new light to this old tune. Now, this chord leaning to G minor, it's perfect because it's like a dominant going to the minor. It's interesting. And I keep moving these chords. That might be a nice intro idea right there. That's what you do. You get things from playing with things. D minor 7 to D minor 6, maybe a vamp. Una volta. For myself here. See, I'm jumping over hurdles here. Slow myself down and live Wouldn't it be interesting if we led to that F somewhere? Let's try it again from the beginning and let's hear it sounds. And we're going up the scale. See that bass? Yes, as we're coming back to Rishonim Tamid Anachnu, I like that it's doing a reverse line that usually was going. Now we're going like they're climbing back up the hill to make that last victory. And Leaf Kudar, Leaf Kud, get ready for that